We are now getting set for our next guest, as Lee just keeps giving me one after the other. I love it. Thank you, Lee. You're a great producer. Couldn't do it without her. Makes life so much easier. We welcome Olga Mitelman. I think I might have mispronounced your name. I'll let you correct me. I will not take offense at all, of course, because yeah. I thank you for joining us, and tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're on this Giving Tuesday telethon.
Tim, thank you very much. You got my name absolutely right, Olga Mitelman. I have the great pleasure to join you this morning. Thank you so much for having me. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving.
I did. I hope you did as well. It always is a nice, quiet couple days for me with my family. I hope others have the same experience, or if they like it busy and crazy, I hope they have that too. To each his own. But I always
get a little bit of both.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both. Okay. But I always get excited, during actually Thanksgiving, because my family knows Giving Tuesday is right around the corner. They ask about the event. They ask about what I'm going to be doing. My parents, watch in the whole thing, and it is great support. It kind of starts even already then and kind of plugging it. But when I saw the guest list, I saw you coming on, Olga, and I was excited because you are with Fulcrum, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's like
right.
A sponsor for one. I love that. And then a lot of exciting things happening there.
Absolutely. So I did join Fulcrum. It has been about 2 months. And one of the first things that I got to do when I joined Fulcrum is come to an FSHD Society 360 meeting.
Oh, nice.
And it had been only several weeks into my tenure. And I was so excited because it was really a great opportunity for me to get to know the community. And it was a great introduction and an opportunity to meet folks in person. And this is something that I think we can never take for granted again, given the COVID experience.
Yeah.
So it was a chance to be in the same room and online with people with FSHD, their families, clinicians, and members of the FSHD Society staff. And during this meeting, we had a great opportunity to hear about the latest developments in research, the importance of the multidisciplinary approach in the treatment of FSHD, which includes physical therapy and speech therapy, and attention to mental health, which is very important, in addition to clinical care. And we also got an update on the latest developments in genetic testing. And this meeting also gave me an opportunity to share some of the details of our losmapimod clinical development program and the results of our phase 2 REDUX-4 trial, which is a double-blind placebo-controlled study of about 48 weeks duration. And in this study, REDUX-4 demonstrated losmapimod's potential to modify the course of disease progression in FSHD. And treatment with losmapimod resulted in improved muscle health, as demonstrated by whole body MRI. It showed impact on strength and upper body function, as seen on the key clinical outcome of reachable workspace. And importantly, this trial also included a patient-reported outcome scale, the patient global impression of change, where patients on losmapimod experienced improvement versus placebo. And this trial is currently in its open label extension phase, and we continue to follow patients, both those who were started on losmapimod at the beginning of the trial and those who were switched to it after 48 weeks on placebo. But for me, Tim, the best part of the meeting was the privilege to meet people with FSHD and their family members and to hear their stories, their experience before the diagnosis, and then how they were diagnosed, and then their journey afterwards. And the challenges that these families face every day and their resilience as they tackle these challenges are truly, truly inspirational for all of us at Fulcrum. The families never give up, the patients never give up, and neither can we.
That's number one. That is a lot to unpack. I mean, that's a lot of good things happening with that conference, and the fact that you were also able to meet a lot of the patients. So how does that translate then for you on a day like today, Giving Tuesday, and we're trying to raise funds for the FSHD Society when there are so many great foundations, great nonprofits out there doing the same. But for us, this is extremely important. So for you, what is the impact of like a Giving Tuesday event mean to you and what it can do for Fulcrum or for the FSHD Society?
Well, I think that the work that the FSHD Society does is absolutely crucial to what we at Fulcrum are trying to accomplish. We are trying to bring a disease-modifying therapy to patients as soon as possible. This is our primary goal. And in order to do this, we must understand what the patients need and how FSHD is impacting them and their families, and what will successful therapy need to deliver? What does success look like? And the FSHD Society brings people with FSHD and their families together to help answer these questions. And we at Fulcrum speak to and listen to members of the community during every single step of the drug development process. We are looking to understand their unmet needs and look to design our trials with patient input. And when we get data, we share the results to get the patient perspective and to answer the question of what our next steps should be. But that's not all the society does. The society also plays a key role in education around FSHD in general and what resources are available to patients and families. And it funds scientific and medical research. And I believe that it is the synergy of the data generated by academic research and industry research that will bring therapies forward. And another key thing that the society does is advocating for the community with the government. This is absolutely crucial. Raising awareness of the significant burden of illness that patients and families face, and the importance of government support in funding research and raising the standard of care in this rare disease. And the society brings a sense of empowerment and hope to patients and their families. They recognize they're not alone. When they act together, they can amplify their voices and be active agents taking control of their future. And so, yes, there are many, many worthwhile groups to support, but what the FSHD Society does for this community is absolutely crucial.
You talked about bringing therapies to, families, to patients as quickly as possible. That comes with pressure. That comes with angst and anxiety. How do you cope with that? From you are a scientist, but you're a human. You're trying to help other humans, and the fact that you had this great opportunity to speak at the 360 meeting event and meet some of the people. How does that impact you, make you feel as you push your work forward?
I think it gives so much inspiration to me and my colleagues at Fulcrum, because what I did after I came back is I brought the insights that I learned at this meeting and shared it with as many people as possible. And especially when I talked about the patients and the families and what they're going through and what they're looking for, as we're trying to do what we do, which is design the studies and execute the studies and bring the drugs to the patients as quickly as possible. Sometimes it's a lot of work, and sometimes there are setbacks. But when we think about the patients and the families and what their experiences are, our goal and our mission stays crystal clear, and it gives us energy and inspiration. And that's the best thing.
Oh, beautifully put. Beautifully put. It's great to have you in our corner as well as Fulcrum. I'm glad you're there. I'm glad that you're like I said, in our corner, on our side on this fight. It is a great tool. You're a great asset, great person to be involved in helping us try to get this treatment. What do you see then as we, go through into 2022? What is your vision or hope or goal for the year coming up?
Well, we at Fulcrum, we are looking, we're looking this year to speak to the FDA and regulatory authorities to get insight as to our next steps in order to bring losmapimod to patients. And as the year turns in the first quarter, we look to share those insights with the rest of the community. And we are looking forward to our next trial and the partnership that it will take to have a successful trial will involve FSHD Society, the patients and caregivers who are members. It'll take all of us in partnership to execute a study together. And I think that I would ask the community, to keep an eye on Fulcrum, to keep an eye on FSHD Society, learn about the studies, and take advantage and participate if they're eligible. It is this partnership that will bring disease-modifying therapies forward as soon as possible.
Thank you, Olga, for joining us today on the Giving Tuesday event. Much appreciated. Your time is valuable, and thanks for spending some of it with us. And
Thank you so much.
Keep getting after it. Keep doing what you're doing, fighting the good fight for us. We appreciate it.
And I wish the FSHD Society a successful day today. Thank you so much, Tim. Thank you, everybody.
That is Olga Mitelman. She is MD. She is a huge help in this fight with Fulcrum. We thank Fulcrum for all their support as well. Doing some amazing things. It has been definitely something that has been, I don't know, eye-opening, I guess, for me when I talk to the scientists, talk how much that, yeah, they're doing the work. Yes, there's those things are way over my head of what they're working on, but it always comes back to the patient. They always seem to bring it back around to the patient. She talked about meeting people at the 360 meeting event was great, because that's really what is the driving force